Okay, this is the 120 press availability for McNeese State student athletes. First couple of housekeeping items. The satellite coordinates for the press conferences this week: 11993.5 vertical, SES-3, 14K, slot D as in Delta 9. Also a reminder for those in attendance here in the room, please silence your cell phones. And also a reminder that flash photography and any video is prohibited, video recording prohibited by the NCAA. We are joined by McNeese State student athletes. The McNeese Cowboys will be the 12th seed will be taking on Gonzaga tomorrow afternoon here at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. Game time is 5:25 Mountain, 7:25 Eastern. And we're joined by Shahade Wells and Kristen Shoemate, and we'll open up questions for our student athletes.
John Kuhn, Associated Press. Looking at just the season you guys had and winning 30 games and getting a 12 seed here in the NCAA tournament, what kind of led to your success and just really having the breakout season that this program had?
I would say just the hard work that we put in throughout the summer, just building as a team, coming together, just being connected always, and just knowing we could win these games, knowing that we have a team able and that we can do it. With these guys being by my side and me just being one of the leaders, I just knew we could do it in the summertime, so I feel like anything was possible for us.
Yeah, same thing that he really said. You know, it started in the summer, you know, working out and doing all of the hard work and the preparation that Coach had us going through, and just the belief that we had. We had high beliefs from the beginning, and the work and the belief translated into winning some games. So.
Jim Gazzola, American Press. For both you guys, what else do you have left to prove this year? You both said you wanted to be on the center stage. What does this mean to you, and what do you have left to prove?
I feel we don't really have anything to prove. I feel like just being us. We've gotten this far just being us, so I feel like we just got to stick to that, stick to our principles, our standards, and just go out and be us, win, lose, or draw. We fought, we got here, and we're trying to win, but, I mean, we just got to be us at the end of the day.
Matthew Travis, KPLC. Christian, for you, Shahade's obviously been here before with TCU, but for you, we've talked a lot about what this feeling would be like, but now that you're finally here, what is this, getting here yesterday, today, what has this been like for you?
It's been good so far. You know, you dream of moments like this all the time, and to finally be here, it's an amazing feeling, and we want to do more than just be here. You know, we did all of the preparation, like we said. We didn't work super hard to be here, and you know, it feels good, but I'm sure it'll feel even better winning, and we just want to leave it all out there and do what we do. Like you said, just be us, do what we do, be connected, relentless, all our standards, you know, just do what we do.
Alex Vehar, Salt Lake Tribune here in the front. I don't know how many times you guys have been to Utah or even Salt Lake City, but Mike Saunders Jr. played high school here. He played some college here. How have you kind of seen him in the lead up to coming back here? Just like, what's his mood been like? And also, has he given you any tips of where to eat or maybe what to do in the little off time that you may have?
No, not really any tips or anything like that. But you could tell he's definitely been excited to be back here, and he even told us when we came, like, this was basically his second home. You know, he's been here for a lot of years, like you said, and you could just tell his energy's been good. His energy's been real high. He's excited to be here, you know.
Tailgate Kings, Shoe. The air's a little thinner here in Utah, so are you going to jump a little higher for us here than you do back home?
We'll see. It's maybe so. You know, I'm gonna try to keep it the same as it always is, but it'd be good if I can go higher. So we'll see.
for both of you guys, we've talked a lot about the turnover margin. Obviously, Gonzaga has had one of the best turnover margins in college basketball this season. Is that something you guys have been focusing on as you guys have been preparing for tomorrow's game?
Not necessarily. I think that we kind of just been kind of sticking to our standards, you know. A lot of the things that we do, it's universal for a lot of different teams, and we don't want to turn the ball over. We want to try to turn teams over, but that's a focal point sometimes. But we just more so want to just play our game, and if that creates what you're talking about, then that's good. But yeah.
Piggybacking off him, just basically what he said, we're really not like too much intrigued on doing those type of things. But if it happens, it happens. Feel like we're just going with coach's game plan, just whatever he tells us to do, whatever he thinks works. We're seeing what he's told us in the past that it works. So now why not stick to it?
Hade, you're the only one with experience, and you played Gonzaga last year. This year's all been about kind of your redemption and showing what you can do. How much do you want to show them that you can do more than you did last year?
I want to show everybody, just not them. Not just us being here. We want to win games here, not just to be here. So I feel like I got to step up as a leader and just lead this team as I've been doing all year. Just talking to the guys, keeping them focused, keeping their heads right. Even in practice today, Coach told me, don't criticize as much, uplift, and just have everybody's head right before we enter these games, and hopefully we get a win.
Shahade, it just looked like you wanted to answer the question about Mike, so I want to give you the opportunity to do that.
Oh, like he said, this is kind of like Mike's second home. He's been happy to be back. I actually played here last year. TCU played Utah last year, and I got a chance to meet Mike. I really didn't talk to him much, but I did get a chance to meet him, and seemed like a good dude. And now we're teammates. He's a very good dude, and we just clicked together. And like he said, this is Mike's second home, so he's just happy to be back.
Will Wade is the coach that's had a lot of success at previous stops with VCU and LSU. What about his system and his approach to the game allows you guys to have the kind of success that you've had this season?
I would just say the time that he puts in, the scouting reports, him just watching video all the time. We're seeing the time he puts in, and we know how serious it is to him and his winning, and we've seen his records and the schools he's been to, and we see that it works. So why not listen to somebody that's been there, that's been to March Madness multiple times, won SEC, won his championships and whatever. But I feel like just listen to the guy. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, basically the same thing. I also think that it's he believes in us and we believe in him. So with that trust factor, we go hard for each other, you know, like whatever he wants us to do. I mean, we just go out there and do it to the highest of our capabilities, and what he says works. So if we go out and do that as much as we can, we usually be in a good stance.
Connor Cuvion, Tailgate Kings. Seeing the way that the Southwest Louisiana community has embraced y'all, how has that helped push y'all to this moment and push the team forward to get to this moment?
I mean, it's huge, you know, along with what you said, like everything that's going on back there and how hard they go for us and all of the things they do for us, you know, showing out to games, selling out games, showing up to basically everything that we hold. You know, we want to get back to them, and, you know, it feels good to have a community like that behind us, and we always appreciate that. And, you know, we love our fans, we love the community, and they love us too. So, you know, it's a big thing for us to have that behind us, and we just want to keep on giving back to them and give them something to be proud of.
Shahade, would you like to answer that as well?
Oh, he pretty much answered it.
Okay.
Jim from the Spokesman Review for both of you guys. Is there a little clash of styles here with Gonzaga playing the three bigs pretty much all the time, and maybe you guys with more of a smaller ball approach, or is that Is there a give and take there?
I would say it is a give and take. Us just having faster guards, them playing three big men. Feel like we can move faster. Some coach told us about we were gonna have to rebound more. The guards are gonna have to at least help rebound, just them having size on us. So I feel like it's a give and take on offense and the defensive end.
Obviously, in your last game against Nichols, you got out to a fast start. I think you guys hit 2 threes in less than a minute. How important is a fast start going to be for you guys tomorrow? Coach Wade talked about it earlier in the week as well.
It's very important. He told us that we don't want to be digging ourselves out of a hole early, so we're gonna have to hit first, like he always says. Be aggressive, just hit first, just come out with the first punch, and I feel like that's what we're gonna do. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, no, same thing. You just don't want to get behind early in the game and gotta dig your way out of a hole. And you want to kind of set the rules of engagement early so they can't feel like they can do whatever they want against you. And if it gets to that point, then it's pretty much too late. So we want to come out and set the rules of engagement early.
I'm Krista Bell with the Poke Press. Is there a particular, we've got all over Lake Charles and on campus, there are all these different watch parties that are set up. Is there any particular message that you want to send back to the students and the campus community?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everything that y'all did this season, and thank you for the continued support. And, basically what I was saying earlier, y'all living and dying by us right now, and it feels amazing to have this community behind us. So I just want to say thank you to them all, and we appreciate it more than y'all probably even know, so.
Me as well. I just want to say thank you to everybody supporting us, not just the student hand, but the people in Lake Charles everywhere. So I just thank you for just supporting us all the way through this season.
Howdy, they say in football, defense travels. Y'all got the D. You bring it with you?
Oh, most definitely. I'm not sure if we're still #1 D in the country right now, but we were there, but we know what we could do defensively. My steals, shoes, blocks, everybody else they just align with us, so we're gonna bring it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have time for a couple more questions. We're going to check the 3 participants that are joining us via Zoom. If any of you 3 have a question for our student athletes, please use the raise hand button on your Zoom panel, and we will come to you. All right, seeing none on that side. Do we have any more questions here in the room for our student athletes?
For Christian, how would you describe Shahada's game? How he scores multiple ways, what he does out there?
He's amazing. I never seen nothing like it. He's a scoring guard. He's a defending guard. He does basically everything you want out of a guard out there on the court. I'm glad to be his teammate and glad I only got to play against him. But like you said, he scores at all 3 levels. He defends. He does everything, So I would describe it as amazing.
Okay, one more right here.
We've talked about it a little bit, Christian, this year, but now to actually be here, you've been through the dregs of the last couple of years with the program. What's it like to be in this stage now?
It's crazy. I never would have thought to be in this position, and I'm always gonna be grateful and thankful of everything to put me here. And I just never take these moments for granted, because I didn't see the other side of it, and I know how dark it can get sometimes. So now that I done seen some light, I'm grateful for it. It's an amazing feeling, and I don't want it to leave yet. So we're gonna do everything we can to keep it.
Okay, thank you. Christian Shahade. Best of luck to you tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, we are joined by head coach Will Wade of McNeese. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach, then open up for questions.
Yeah, we're excited to be back. Excited for the opportunity. Salt Lake's a tremendous host city. I was here in 17 with VCU, and so they do a phenomenal job, and we're excited to be back and get ready to get going.
John Coon, Associated Press. Looking at what you've been able to do with McNeese State this year and the steps the program's taken forward, what's kind of been the underlying key to your success as a team, being able to reach 30 wins, get a 12 seed in the NCAA tournament?
Well, the biggest key was getting Shahade Wells. He's everything for us. He's the league player of the year, league newcomer of the year, conference tournament MVP. And then, look, we got some other good players, and we have really good support from our university, from our athletic department, our athletic director, from our president's office. And so everybody's on board with basketball being very, very good, and they've given us the resources to go out and compete, and we've gotten, we've been fortunate to land some really good players.
Matthew Travis, KPLC. We talked earlier this week about kind of the different styles of play. Gonzaga, obviously, primarily with the forwards and EK and Watson. Just talk about kind of the different styles and what challenges that might present for you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, the biggest challenge is going to be their speed and their size. They play extremely, extremely fast. They're one of the elite teams in transition in the country, and so we're going to have to be able to get back. That's going to be critical, especially early in the game. I think we don't have time in a tournament setting like this to adjust to their speed, or we'll be down big. So I think their speed is a huge part. And then, look, their three-man's bigger than our center. So, they're huge. They've got big bodies, and we've got to be able to, to find a way to, try to get our quickness in the game as best we can. But they do a really good job of Xing out on ball screens and moving those guys around. And so it'll be a big challenge if we can get back in transition somehow and try to limit them to one shot as much as possible, which is a lot easier said than done. Hopefully we can give ourselves a chance in a 6-minute game.
Coach Alex Vehar with the Salt Lake Tribune. You have a player on your team, Mike Saunders, who played high school here, played some college here. What has his kind of just mood and excitement level been, coming back here? Your Christian and Shahadi said that it's kind of like a second home for him. Just what has his mood been like lately?
It's exciting. I think he's rather be here than playing in the NIT. So he's excited. He went to Wasatch, which is away. It's about 2 hours from here over there in the mountains. But, I think that he's fired up. He certainly has some friends here in Salt Lake from his time here, and his high school coach, who he's very close with. He has a family in town that kind of adopted him when things weren't going as well at Utah for him, and so he's excited to see them. But at the end of the day, he knows he's got a job to do. We got to get down to business.
Well, Joe Goodman, AL.com. I was hoping you could provide some insight into Bucky McMillan.
The best.
I know that. What were your first impressions of him when you were starting to recruit Trendon, and if you can offer any kind of insight?
Yeah, I've known Bucky a long time. So Bill Armstrong, who was my assistant, recruited Bucky to Birmingham Southern. So even before we recruited Trendon, I was familiar with Bucky and knew Bucky. I actually talked to him the other day for a while. But, look, I told everybody when he got the job, because everybody was like, I said, listen, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know exactly how he's going to do it, but I promise you he's going to win and win big there. Now, I don't, how he's going to do it is going to be a little bit different than probably most people would do it, but he will win and win big. Everywhere he's won translates. And everybody talks about his run at Mountain Brook. At the end, he had Watford and he had Colby Jones and he had some of those guys. He was winning state titles with, with just whoever kind of showed up, his first couple state titles. Then other kids wanted to come and play for him there. But, he's a phenomenal coach. He's very analytical mind, very linear thinker, plays to the numbers. And the biggest thing is what most people, he has a unique system, a unique style, and he doesn't let anybody stop him from implementing that. Some people would get scared, you move up from high school to college to keep doing the same thing. He says, no, what I do works. It works really well, and we're just going to keep doing it. And, I know with Sanford probably wouldn't like this, but when he leaves Sanford and goes to a higher level, which he will, he's going to be able to win doing the exact same thing. I mean, what he does works across any level. He does a great job in practice getting the guys. I mean, we were recruiting Trenton. He was always quizzing me about analytics and numbers and what do you think about this and what do you think about that? And, he'd be doing those 6 a.m. workouts and be like, and he'd be over there talking to us all the time. So, I mean, he's just very, 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 very smart guy, and he's fearless. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. He doesn't care what, he's not trying to be the most popular guy in the room. He's just trying to win games and does what he does, and he does it at a very, very high level. And he's going to keep winning. I mean, Sanford hadn't been in the NCAA tournament since they got to the SoCon. The last time they went was in the OVC, right? And he just goes and he wins the league almost every year and finally punched through in Asheville, which is hard to do.
Coach Jim Gazzola, American Press. How you doing?
Good, Jim. How are you?
You called this getting here the greatest accomplishment of your career. What would it mean to win a game, and will that top it?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about winning a game, but getting here definitely was with this group and everything that they've been through and everything our community's been through, our school, absolutely as good as it gets for us. And to have such a narrow path to get here and to be able to still do it, just phenomenal. I hadn't even contemplated winning a game, but it would certainly ratchet up the accomplishment if we could do that.
Coach Matt Dye, Tailgate Kings. Javon Garcia, DJ Richards both made the all-tournament team, and DJ off the bench. Can you talk about how their growth this season has impacted the team and how you're going to need them in this tournament?
Yeah, I thought they both should have been on the all-league team too. I don't know what some of the coaches in our league were watching all year, but I thought both of them should have been on our all-league team. They didn't even make second-team all-league. And both guys were certainly capable of doing that. But Garcia's just so steady for us. He does so many little things really well. You can count on him. He's reliable. He's dependable. And DJ's just instant offense off the bench. I mean, every time he shoots it, you think it's going in. It's disappointing when he misses. It's deflating because you just count it every time it leaves his hand. And so he's, those guys have been really, really good players for us. Those guys, like DJ would start on just about any other team at our level, but he's accepted coming off the bench, which has been a huge, huge part of our success and a huge piece to what we do.
Coach Tony Jones from The Athletic, just kind of piggybacking off of an earlier question.
The Utah Jazz, you're the Utah Jazz expert.
Somewhat. I appreciate that. Just knowing some of the things that you've been through personally, some of the adversity that you've been through.
You can say it. I got fired.
Some of that. Is it good to show the kind of adversity? To show the kind of resiliency to get back to this stage. Just kind of translate that to your team. Just not only over one day, but over just a string of days and a string of, months and, just the year in general.
Yeah, I think, look, it's not about me, but we have a lot of guys who have overcome a lot of adversity, too, to get here. If you look at our roster, it's littered with transfers from multiple schools, guys who have overcome a lot of things to get here. And I think that's what bonded all of us. We're all kind of a mismatched group, and we've come together pretty quick because, everybody's got a common thread that, we all need each other. We all needed McNeese, and McNeese needed all of us. And so it's kind of bonded all of us together as a group, and that's been the most rewarding and most exciting part of the year.
Coach, you talked on Monday about how important the turnover margin is going to be tomorrow. Just expand on that a little bit and how important that is going to be considering both teams turn the ball over and average less than 10 times per game.
Yeah, if we come in here and have a bunch of live ball turnovers, we might as well get on the plane and head home. So, we cannot have live ball turnovers. I'd rather punt it in the stands where we can at least set our defense. But if we come in here and turn the ball over, more than 8 times, it's going to be extremely challenging for us to win.
coach Eddie Pels with AP. Since we ripped the Band-Aid off, you weren't the only one who got fired, obviously. There were a lot of people who got into all kinds of trouble 7, 8 years ago. Do you think anything positive came out of that investigation that was kind of supposed to change college basketball or fix it?
No, I mean, I think it ruined a lot of people's. I mean, look, I was able to recover. There's a lot of people that were not able to recover. I think it ruined a lot of people's lives for very little reason. And I think that it was extremely unfortunate. I stay in touch with a lot of the people who, haven't been as fortunate as me to be able to find a route back. But it's no, I mean, I don't see much good that came from it because it ruined good people's lives, for very little. I mean, look, we're talking here today. I mean, everything that some of these people got their lives ruined for is, it's standard operating procedure today. So, I mean, it's just extremely disappointing. I wish the NCAA would step in and say, look, we need to let these other folks back in. We need to get rid of some of these punishments that they had, and we need to let these guys back in. The Books, the Lamonts, those guys, they need to just wash it, start clear, and let those guys back in and let those guys get going and give them the opportunity to rebuild their career. They've been punished. I promise you, they've been punished enough. They've been punished enough.
We talk about anniversary days, kind of ironically, things happen on other days of your career. 7 years ago today, you were hired by LSU. What are your thoughts on the last 7 years in this ride?
I didn't know that. You always bring that stuff up. I mean, look, it's been, we're never short for excitement on our roller coaster. So, it's been fun. And, look, if I didn't get the LSU job, I wouldn't have been introduced to the state of Louisiana. If I wasn't introduced to the state of Louisiana and I wasn't at LSU, I wouldn't have been fortunate enough to be able to get this McNeese job and, have this magical and special season that we've had. So I'd say it's a net positive.
Coach, over the last couple of weeks.
Damn, Travis, you can ask every question.
I'm trying to do my job, Coach.
All right.
But you've talked a lot over the last couple of weeks about Hade's experience being the only player who's been to this stage. Now that you guys are here, are you kind of leaning on him a little more to help out his teammates?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's one guy that can talk to our guys, and one guy that can, that can put our guys in the right mind frame. And he's definitely he always has a voice, but he's had a little bit more of a voice this week.
Andrew Quinn, Crum 2 in Spokane. Will, Graham Ike was just named AP All-American Honorable Mention. You mentioned that you guys are a little undersized compared to Gonzaga. How do you propose to stop him, or what's kind of your plan to try and neutralize him as best you can?
Pray. I mean, look, he's a tremendous player. You let him get to his left hand, I mean, he's going to make that every time. And so, I mean, look, I'm worried about him on the duck ends, especially in transition. I'm worried about him on the offensive glass. I mean, look, our best chance to stop him is to get him in foul trouble. The last couple games, he's had some issues with foul trouble. I think he's had 4 fouls, 5 fouls, I think, in the last 5 or 6 games. So, I mean, that's a lot easier said than done. But we've got to find some way to neutralize him on the court, because when he's out there, we're going to have a very challenging time stopping him.
Okay, we had time for one more question right here.
Well, I'm sure you've heard about the Dan Monson situation over at Long Beach State that they're playing here, and I'm curious what you think about that in general, and also, is there a right way and a wrong way to fire a head coach in college basketball?
Well, I'm an expert in this. You asked the right guy. When they fired me, they didn't let me coach again. So that's probably what Long Beach wishes they'd have done now. They fired him and they let him coach. LSU just fired me and said, get on out of here. We'll let somebody else coach him, so that you don't risk something like that happening. I mean, look, I think you should always let the season play out. I think, I don't know that situation. I don't like to comment on stuff I don't know a ton about. But I think in general, I don't see any reason to have cut the cord when they did. They could have just waited till after the conference tournament. What were they going to do? Get a jump start on their coaching camp? I mean, like a 3-day jump start. I mean, they should have just let it play out, and then whatever happened, whatever happened, and they wouldn't. This doesn't look good. I wouldn't assume for what they're doing, but I'm happy for Coach Munson. I don't know him very well, but I'm thrilled for him. I like anybody who can kind of rise up and go against the grain a little bit. I think that's a good thing. But yeah, I think in general you either let it play out, or if you fire him, then you fire him and you put an interim coach in there and you move it. But I would let it play out more generally.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time, and congratulations. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.